Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to talk about one of the biggest problems in Wuthering Waves right now. There is one particular resource which is beyond scarce. Every person, whale, new player, casual, low spender, dolphin, whatever you want to call it, everyone is finding this resource to become a big problem and having issues maintaining enough of the supply. And that's the ECHO experience. The main reason why ECHO experience becomes a big problem is because of how much sheer volume of echoes you have to reroll to get the right stats. Especially the 3-cost echoes. The 3-cost echoes can roll a bunch of damage bonuses, and when you get the right ones, you might not even get the right substats, so you have to reroll them. And not to mention, the XP difference between stages while you're leveling up an echo substantially increases. Let me show you an example right now. I'm doing a 4-4-1-1-1 setup on her for the time being, just because I cannot for the life of me get a 3-cost echo which has Havoc and which is on the Sun Sinking Eclipse set. I cannot for the life of me get that. I get Spectro damage, I get Aero damage, I get Electro damage, I get every other damage known to mankind under the sun except Havoc damage. So I decided to try this 4-4-1-1-1 setup, and here's where the problem happens. Although this is a bit easier to farm because you can farm bosses and 1-cost mobs are a bit more easier to farm than 3-cost, upgrading becomes the issue. So I got some decent rolls on this, but if I want to get to 25 from 20, I'm not getting there. You see this, right? It costs about 65,000 experience, and I'm still missing 20,000 to get from 20 to 25. That's a lot of experience charms. And there is no sure shot way in the game right now where you can actually farm this reliably. Sure, you can do tacit field cleanups, but that doesn't give you anywhere near these rewards. Tacit field cleanups don't even give you anything compared to how much you need. So I have this plus 25 over here, which roll pretty bad stats towards the end. And let's say if I even try to use this plus 25 to reroll into something else, I'm going to use this as an example. If I use this plus 25 as a replacement, I still only get to plus 22. Sure, it refunds you a bunch of materials. It brings you back to, about 70% of the experience, but from the 22 to 25 still costs like 45,000 experience, which is still a lot, and you might not even get the right stats you want. So even putting this back in might not even help you as much, because ideally you want to try to only get up to plus 20, see if you have good stats, and only if you have really good stats do you want to go to 25, because otherwise you'll end up like I did. You get stuck with this and you lose a lot of extra experience. Since the experience is not equally distributed, towards the end you need a lot more experience. Even though you're getting 70% refunded, you end up in a shit situation because you still have to give up a lot of experience. One other point which I wanted to mention was, if you're finding difficulty getting 3-cost echoes with the right substats, I would recommend, especially to get through the early game, to do a 4-4-1-1-1 setup, because those are way easier to farm. I'll show you an example. This Flautist which I got here, I wanted an Electro damage and on the Void Thunder set. This is very bad. I overreacted and upgraded this, which I should not have done. I regret it so much. I took it to plus 25 and wasted all my experience mats, and I didn't even have any good substats here. But the reason why I got so upset was because the amount of Flautists which I farmed, this is just some of them which I have, and that's the only Void Thunder ones. If I do all of them and do 3-cost, the amount of Flautists I have here, and this doesn't include all of them either. I did combine a bunch of them to try to get more as well. The amount of Void Thunder sets which I have with Aero, Glacio, Fusion, Aero again, it's insane. Farming 3-cost echoes are a pain in the ass. And the biggest problem is when you try to roll for stats and then keep re-rolling on new pieces, you'll run out of experience points way too quickly. And this is one of the biggest resources which every player, whales and new players alike, will struggle with to obtain more of. This is one of the biggest problems. And this is what I'm using most of my wave plates on, is to do tacit field cleanups to try to get more experience. There are a couple of ways to get more experience points, like you can get some from the adversity exchange, you can get some from the simulation store. I haven't bought any of them yet, but still, when you consider how much how much experience you need to spend to get to plus 25 on one echo, all these extra materials which you can even get from the side doesn't even equate to much because you're losing a lot. So the best thing I can advise new players is don't get any echo to plus 25. Stop at plus 15 or plus 20. At that point itself, they are good enough to the point where they will help you. And when you start upgrading, do a plus 5, see what stat you get. Do a plus 10, see what stat you get. If both those rolls are really bad, don't upgrade it anymore. And leave it at plus 15. Cost once, leave it at plus 15. Or if you get really good rolls, you can take it to plus 20. Don't go plus 25. I would recommend leaving everything at plus 20 for the time being. You will save a lot of experience and you will be able to roll more echoes because of that. And once you're done with that, and once you get like at least 1 or 2 teams or 1 or 2 characters with a decent loadout of echoes built, you can then focus on getting the ones to 25 which are already really good. Because I wasted so much experience at the beginning, I'm kind of struggling right now because I only have 2 characters built decently. They're not even built that great. They are built okayish. I can get my Sanwa to level 50 or level 60 quickly. I can upgrade her weapon quickly. But most of your damage is tied into the echoes, and that's a big problem because I can't upgrade any more echoes because I don't have any echo experience. Like as of right now, there isn't any proper way where you can actually fix this situation. The only thing you can do is try to be a bit more stingy when you upgrade your echoes or when you roll for stats. Be very stingy and picky. If you get a good main stat, you can try to roll for them, but if your first 2 substats are garbage, do not continue. Do not continue. Also, definitely consider the 4-4-1-1-1 strategy over the 4-3-3-1-1 strategy. Hopefully in the future they add more events where you can farm echo experience more efficiently. That way we have a bit more leeway when it comes to upgrading and picking echoes. But yeah, you guys get the point. I'm not gonna rant anymore. Hopefully you guys are a bit more careful than me and don't do stupid shit like I do. And well, that's it. Please consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.